And all righty. So hello, everybody. We want to welcome you guys to this information session for specifically for DCPS teachers about our project InTERSECT. I'm Latrina Patrick. I am the project manager for this project, and I'm the contact person for a lot of your questions or whatnot, but I'm not the program expert. And we have one of our program experts on that's going to do the heavy lifting tonight. That is Dr. Kathleen Schofield. And what we're going to do is I'm going to let Kathy introduce herself. She's going to do a quick 10-minute or so presentation just to give you guys an overview, and then we will go directly into our Q&A, and we will be done by 8:30. We promise you. So welcome, you guys, and I'm just going to let Kathy go ahead and introduce herself.
Well, good evening. Thank you, Latrina, for that great introduction. And my doctor's status is less than a year old, so it's still like, what are you talking about? So I'm a real believer in lifelong learning. As Latrina said, I'm Kathy Schofield, and I'm the executive director of a nonprofit here in town called the STEM 2 Hub. And we work very hard to try and make sure that all children have access to the high wage, high demand careers of the future. And that includes STEM and computer science. And so I am a partner with the University of North Florida, and we were all just talking about what these things would look like in early childhood, because a lot of our focus has been on 5th grade and up. And so we got together and we kind of put together a dream, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And our dream turned into Project InTERSECT. So what Project InTERSECT is it's really a way that we are going to work to empower primary teachers, pre-K through 2nd grade, to be able to bring STEM plus computational thinking into early childhood. And so we weren't trained that way. I wasn't trained that way because a lot of these tools and these jobs did not exist when we went to college. So think about this classroom where you've got children building things, you've got technology toys, robots, Spirobots, the engineering design process going on, and this child here is putting wheels on a robot. Well, there's so much math and there's so much science, computational thinking and coding in there, but we might miss a teachable moment or not correct a misconception that children might have. So our thinking is, if we empower you with some pedagogical skills in these areas, as well as some increased content knowledge, and seeing how these STEM disciplines converge or intersect, that we can really help empower a future for kids where they're not, by the time they get to 5th grade, thinking these careers are out for me, or they're not feeling unsuccessful. So what we did was we developed a fully online and job embedded set of professional learning experiences for primary teachers. And so you may be wondering, well, okay, what does that look like? So what that looks like is content and pedagogy to help you with working across the already packed curriculum that you have to infuse these different kinds of experiences. And so the idea is that while infusing those things, we're also working on self-regulation and social emotional skills for the children, and then building that foundation as they grow older and get into more opportunities to see career pathways for themselves. So the big question, well, why would you want to even try to fit one more thing into your packed schedule? Well, we think that you're like us, all in this for the same reason. You want your children to have these experiences because you have that foresight to know that these computer science jobs and tech jobs are out there, these STEM jobs, and that we really need to empower all children. And then on top of that, there is a significant stipend involved for everyone who participates in the program. On top of that, you'll also receive materials and equipment to try some of these really cool things in your classroom. And we also think that this program will be developing you as a leader at your school, and also a leader in STEM and these forward-thinking pathways. So what does it look like? There are 2 pathways for teachers, and there is a pathway for pre-service teachers that I'll mention briefly, but we're seeking people in 2 categories. We've got the I'm all in teacher leader graduate course participants, and we're looking for 15 people for each of 3 years to get in that group. And then we're looking for 90 or 30 each year people who would like to take a professional development pathway, which is not as intense as the graduate courses. And let me tell you just a little more. So that first category, the I'm all in category, is you would be entering a pathway where you would take 4 graduate level classes. There is a math using tech, followed by computational thinking, followed by engineering, and then completed with an inquiry course where you'll be tying all of these pieces together. Now, in the keeping of InTERSECT, the 4 of us, Diane Yendel-Hoppe is the Dean of the College of Ed. She's the principal investigator, and the other 3 of us are her assistants. We're each teaching one of those classes, but we're planning them together. So something you start in the math will continue into computational thinking, lead to engineering, and then be wrapped up in that inquiry piece. So it's 4 graduate level classes that would set you up perfectly if you wanted to continue and do a master's degree or do a certificate program in STEM plus C. In the moderate dive or the professional development modules, again, the same content, math with tech, computational thinking, engineering and inquiry, but just not quite as deep of an involvement as the full graduate level pathway would be. And I'll just briefly mention the pre-service teachers in the College of Ed now will have similar topics, but badging options. So you'll notice that graduates who participate will start to come out knowing some of these things already, which will really be good for you. So I mentioned some of the commitments and some of the things that you would receive for participation. And you can see, and I won't read these to you, but you can see how many we're looking for in each category, the approximate time commitment and what it consists of, coaching cycles, PLCs, inquiry, and the coursework. And then you can see in incentives in that deep dive, it's going to be free tuition. It's going to be a stipend to you over each of these semesters, totaling up to $13,800 in stipend, approximately $6,000 in the value of your tuition, and about $1,600, I'm doing this without my glasses, $1,600 in materials that you'll get in each of those modules. The PD option, again, similar, but you'll see the stipend is $6,000 and about $400 in materials. So we built this grant proposal with a heavy focus on valuing teacher expertise and commitment, because we look at this as we're a team. We've just got different experiences than you, but we want to really work together to really build a model that can be scalable to other places in your county and also our state and even country, because it's a federal grant. So you may be wondering when, or, oh my gosh, I'm not ready now, but I might be next year. Well, the good news is we've got 3 years of this grant. We're recruiting for the first cohort now, and you can see that that work will begin in the fall. And then we'll repeat this cycle for each of the next 2 years. And if we produce the kind of results that the Department of Education, the federal Department of Education is happy with, we will have the chance to compete for 2 more years of funding. So if you feel like, oh, I just can't take it on now, you will have more opportunities, but by that same thought, we've got this amazing opportunity now, and we would love to have participation from our targeted schools in the district, because that's where we feel we can make the greatest difference. So you're at a Q&A session, and I am going to stop sharing my screen. And we're going to open it up to you, to your questions, thoughts, comments. And I will tell you, we did one of these yesterday. It feels like yesterday.
Was.
And there were a few things we could not answer. I even gave one wrong answer that I apologize for. If I happen to give a wrong answer, which I hope I don't, Latrina will be the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. But we're going to try really hard to, if we aren't sure, which in that case we weren't totally sure, we're going to answer you the best we can. But if we're not sure, we will get clarification by tomorrow and get that information out to you. So I will stop talking and open up the floor, and Latrina can go back to facilitating.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Now, guys, at this point, what we can do is you can ask your questions in chat. Some of you, that goes very well. And you can also unmute yourself and ask some questions. I'll give you guys the opportunity to do that. If not, right away, we can share some of the common questions we've received that some of you have. And I see some people on here that I've been corresponding with via email. So I'm happy to see you guys on. Let's see, we have a chat question. How are the applications done? That's my domain. So the applications are very, very simple. We have the application links attached to our website for Project InTERSECT, which is accessible through our College of Education website, page on the UNF website. And I can also send you a link, but you can go to the College of Education under Centers and Institute, hit Project InTERSECT. We have the program descriptions for all of those programs that she just described, and underneath each you'll see a link to access the application. The application process is really simple. It takes about maybe 10 minutes, depending on how in depth you go with your essay questions. We will require you to upload 3 documents, 2 depending on which program you apply for. So everybody has to upload a current resume and a principal recommendation form, which if you don't have that, we sent them to all the principals from your schools that you attend, but I can easily send you that. You have to have your principal's signature. Your principals have already said, hey, we're cool with this, we want to participate, but we still need that form just so they are clear of what they are committing to and making sure they know you guys have a serious classroom commitment that we want to be clear about. So they're signing that again. And then if you want to be a teacher candidate, graduate certificate applicant, you also have to upload your unofficial transcript. So when you sit down to do your application, make sure you have those things, and that's it. And then, we want those for that program because we're looking at your last 60 hours to see what your GPA was. And so that's a part of the criteria for eligibility. So I hope that answers your question. Hey, Sarah, I'm currently teaching via Duval homeroom and probably will be until June. Is it possible to do this within this platform?
That's a really great question. And so the short answer is Yes. The longer answer is, since it really starts fall semester, hopefully by next school year, everyone will be able to be back in brick and mortar, but we have found a lot of success through some of our summer camps and programs that we've done, teaching technology platforms quite robustly on the online platform. And we would not want to exclude students who are learning in Duval homeroom. So my answer there would be that would not be a problem.
Great.
Hi, it's nice to see you.
And Sarah, I did see your application did get submitted successfully, so thank you for doing that.
I have a few questions. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, Cindy, thank you. Go ahead.
I've been corresponding with you, so
Yeah.
yes. So I did have the questions. I don't know if you still have the answer about, I did apply already for the graduate teacher leader program. I put the application in and everything. And I had asked that if I don't get accepted, could I get the option of doing the professional development one? Is that an option?
I thought you were on the call last night, and that's why I didn't respond to you today. So I'm sorry about that. But I did pose that question to Kathy last night. And Kathy, would you share with her what we talked about?
Yes. Yes. So I think that, you could apply for that one as well, I think was what we talked about. But you could also consider the, waiting to the second cohort of the teacher leader one, because this is, it's a Department of Education research grant, and that's something our team has been talking about a lot, is with our external evaluators, because we also are accountable to these external evaluators for our project. So let's say you were to be in the professional development and then wanted to jump over and do the teacher leadership one. We don't know that we'd be able to do that, because you would have gotten this level of experience from the PD, and we're not sure from the research aspect of the grant if that's possible. So so we really I think have to still discuss that a little bit more. But just because if you were to not get accepted this time, it doesn't mean that you're not accepted, period. You still have 2 more cohorts at a minimum.
Okay. And
Did I get that right, Latrina?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
And when do you make the decision of when do you get, chosen?
Well, that's going to be a iffy window, but I say that because we close the applications depending on how many responses we get, and if we get enough for the cohort. But the application deadline right now is February 15th. So definitely, not before the end of February, probably leading into the very 1st of March, we'll start going through those applications. The program doesn't start until May, so we do have a little time, but you guys will be notified very soon after that, after we start that review process. So I'm just guessing, but Kathy, would you say probably somewhere between the mid or end of March, they'll know for sure?
Absolutely, yes.
We'll contact you either way, so you won't be left dangling, wondering if you got in or if you didn't. So we'll definitely let everybody know who applied, whether or not you were selected for this first cohort, or whether or not if you said on your application that you'd like to be considered for the wait list for the later cohorts. We ask you that on your application, Cindy, and I think you checked that you would want to be considered. So yeah, so that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, my question was, I know then the first cohort would start in the summer or in the fall?
Yeah, it starts May.
Okay. And if for time scheduling you want to start in the fall, is that possible to be shifted over or not? You would definitely want to have to start in the summer.
Kathy can show you what those cohort schedules look. Kathy knows more about that, but my guess is that's
right. It's not staggered. We do a cohort that starts one year, then the next one, then the next one. It's not like Oh, I'm gonna not start in spring, so I'll start in fall. We'll have the one cohort will start at a time and they'll be a year apart. The grant is spaced right now over 3 calendar years, and then if we get extension, it'll add the 2 years more onto it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank
Yeah,
you.
you're very welcome. Andrea asked if we can send the links via email. I will. I'll send that to you. I have you guys, everybody that registered, I have your email. So Andrea, I will send that to you first thing tomorrow, okay?
I have a question. I wanted to find out, because I am a pre-K ESE teacher, and currently I am doing Duval homeroom, but I would be more interested in the 3rd cohort. So is there any way for you to just specify that that's what you want to be considered for, and not definitely no, I don't want to do the first one, but the second one, or just, can you just say that you want to be a part of the 3rd cohort?
Well, it's a couple of things in there that I'll let Kathy address, because if I'm not understand, are you part of the, do you teach variant exceptionalities?
Yes.
Okay.
But but I am a pre-K teacher.
So,
Self-contained. pre-K
yeah.
teacher.
So Kathy, you want to go ahead and tell her?
Yes, so that was where I was tripped up yesterday. My thinking had been, if you're a self-contained VE teacher, that you're a teacher teaching pre-K, but the way we wrote the grant, that is not possible. So sadly, in that role, no, you would not be able to participate.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Well, it's you can be sorry, which is okay, but my thing is that you are expecting for our kids, when they go into the inclusionary setting, to know things too. So why not start them out in pre-K learning things? So to me, that is not fair. I'm speaking for my kids' sake.
I know.
So
Yes.
that's not fair. But anyway, okay.
And Paulette, I hear you, and it's troubling to me as well. But sometimes in these research grants, the parameters that we have are really tight. And that's absolutely not to say that there won't be other STEM experiences
Just
possible for you.
It's just typical, that's all. Don't even stress over it. It's just typical. That's all I'm gonna
sorry.
say. No, don't be sorry either.
I am.
Y'all
It
just
breaks
need
my
to
heart.
change things. That's all I got to say. Y'all need to change things. So
Yes,
anyway,
ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am. We appreciate your feedback. Let's see, Juliana says, we have about 7 minutes left, so we're good on time. I am a media specialist at 2 schools. We were just talking about media specialists before we logged on. One is a Title I school. Would I need to have both principals fill out the form, or just the Title I principal?
So again, I'm going to be the bearer of the bad news right now, which is the opportunity for this particular program is open only to the classroom teachers that are with the children all day, because it's about integration into the core subject areas. So again, that's for this opportunity. Duval County, the STEM and science department are working side by side with us to bring other STEM opportunities into the school. So it doesn't mean there's going to be nothing for you, but unfortunately, this experience, you have to be actually assigned as the teacher of record in one of those classrooms. I'm sorry.
Thank you for your question. Hi, is it Jamia? I think Jamia Callahan. Hi, okay. I'm currently a 3rd grade teacher. I was moved from 2nd grade this year due to a teacher leaving. Is this really only available for PK through 2nd grade? Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay.
However, if you move back to primary in a future year, the opportunity then opens back up for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're
You're
welcome.
Good evening. This is Stephanie Ham. Quick question. Well, two questions actually. The first one is, do you happen to have like a course outline for the classes that we are required to take?
The inquiry, the computational thinking, the math with tech.
Yes. Yes.
We do not yet.
Okay.
We are, we're developing them collaboratively for this project specifically.
Okay.
And we're consulting with experts from around the country who are helping us really tailor this for this exact purpose.
Okay.
So I can tell you some basics. In the math, you'll be looking at math concepts through a lens of infusing technology. In the computational thinking course, you will learn how to code, and you will learn how to introduce coding to your students using unplugged activities, which means there's no technology involved, using robots, which you will get through this grant, and using other kinds of technology like block coding and such. And that'll relate back to the math, because you'll quickly see that math and coding are really the same. That
Okay.
computational thinking is really a habit of mind that you're learning in the math course. And then you'll move to engineering, where the creativity and invention will come out, again, building upon the prior two classes, then with that inquiry wrapped around it, where we're actually hoping you'll even publish some of what you've learned and done, and we'll be there to help you with that. So I can't give you a syllabus yet. We were awarded this, Latrina, about a month and a half ago.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Thank you. And I'm going to brag on our team. There were 12 grants awarded out of 130 applications.
Wow.
Yeah, so we are so excited about this project, and we're so excited about Duval County students and teachers getting to have this opportunity.
Thank you so much for your question, Stephanie.
You're
And
welcome.
one last question before we close out, because it's 8:27. Just wanted the clarity on the format in which the program courses will be delivered. Are they all online, or are there some face-to-face portions? They
So
are.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Kathy.
I was going to say, we're designing it to be 100% online, synchronous and asynchronous. And then we will do our best to also record the synchronous sessions for your convenience. There will be optional opportunities, health conditions permitting. If, let's just say, like in computational thinking, for instance, you just want to sit and build that robot with somebody else, so we'll have some workshop or extension opportunities, but not required.
Gotcha. Well, guys, of course, if you have any other questions, please send me an email. And if I don't know how to answer the question, I'll get it from our team. But please don't stop your questions from coming. But we do encourage you to get, if you are eligible and you're interested, please go ahead and apply. It's not first come, first serve. It's a competitive process, but still you want to get your applications in and make sure that everything is correct. If you have any issues, let me know. But send me an email at latrina.patrick@unf.edu for any questions. Any of those who need the link to the application, just let me know. It's easily accessible if you can't find it on our website, which again is under our program, under our college page. But that's it. It's 8:29, and we just are so grateful you guys took the time out of your busy lives to do this. And you're very welcome, Madison, for the Q&A. It was our pleasure, and we'll do more if you guys need it. We're very open to that. So thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Latrina,
Yes, ma'am.
did you receive my application? Because I think I put it through.
Oh, you're good. Uh-huh.
And I sent all my graduate stuff and my undergrad. I didn't know if you needed all of that.
I didn't, but that's okay.
Sending everything in my graduate stuff, and I was like, I don't know, I'm just sending it all.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Have a good night, both
Have
of
a
you.
good night.
Right.
Good night.
Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, yeah, I thought that went